Hey guys, what's up? It's Mahadeo Films here again today, and today I have another review for you guys. And today's review is on the Schleich Therizinosaurus, which is so big that it, doesn't even fit the frame. But wait a second, I almost forgot something. Yes guys, I am testing out my new camera. Now, I figured this review probably would be the best to test it out, because, you know, it's got, I don't know, I just wanted to test it out on a video, so, you know. So anyways, like with all my reviews, let's start off with facts about the dinosaur. So, the Therizinosaurus lived in Mongolia. It ate conifers, gingos, and possibly flowering plants. It was about 23 feet long, and over 10 feet high at the hips, and it weighed 3 tons and lived in about 75 to 70 million years ago. And must I say, this is one weird looking dinosaur, but it looks pretty cool. Now, as you can see on the dinosaur, figurine, I do have these little plastic cups that did come with it when I bought it. And I just keep them on there just to protect the claws, because as you'll see later on in the review, the claws are pretty thin. So anyways, let's get into sculpt and detail. Alright, so starting off with sculpt and detail here, you can see that the head sculpt is really nice looking, I must admit, if my camera will focus. So it's a new camera, so I'm getting used to it, guys. There we go. And as you can see on the head, there's really nice sculpted detail and feathers. They even have a beak. The nostrils are painted and sculpted very nicely. And I especially love the way the eye looks. That looks amazing. On the other side, it is pretty much the same amount of detail. And the jaw does open and you can look inside of the mouth. There's like teeth in there and a tongue and stuff like that. And then going down to the neck, you can see all these creases in the neck, and especially at this side, you can see where all of them all the creases have just gathered up. It looks really good. I must admit, Schleich does a really good job sculpting their figures. And there's a whole feathered texture running down the whole body. The only place that doesn't really have it is the head, some of the neck, the arms, the front side of the body, and the front side of the legs and stuff like that. But I do have to say, I really like the feather texture, because most dinosaurs figures at least don't have a feather texture. I know that most companies are starting to implement feathering into the dinosaurs, which I do like, because I like my accurate dinosaurs. So also here is the claws. Now, these are ridiculous claws. I think these were like 2 feet long. Yeah, I would not want to meet this thing in real life. And then going down to the feet, you can see the feet look very bird-like. I really like the way the feet look. And then the tail, it's got all the nice feathering to it. Another advantage I would say about this figure is that it has a really nice paint job. Very bright, vivid, pretty much how I imagined a dinosaur would look, because most people think they would look brown or whatever, and actually I think they did, scientists were able to get a fossilized dinosaur skin and kind of figured out they were like brown or something like that. But I don't know, I would have figured they'd be more colorful since they're related to birds, and well, most birds are colorful. But you can see here that the paint job, I think, is really nice. They did a really nice paint weathering on the beak and claws. They have this kind of mustardy yellow with this maroon red, and they have the mustardy yellow going down here as well. They even have the red and orange on the beak and the head, not the beak, the head here. They have the maroon red at the feathers right here, and then the red and orange going all down the back and sides. It looks really nice. And the blue, of course, and the black line, and the black little splotches. And the arms can move too, I forgot to mention that, so, yeah. but I have to say I'm really pleased with this sculpt and paint job wise. So now let's move into scientific accuracy. Now, as for scientific accuracy, I do have to say this figure is quite flawed. The head especially, yeah, that does not look like a Therizinosaurus head. If you've seen a real, like, accurate looking Therizinosaurus, then you know this is not correct at all. The neck also I don't think is correct from pictures I've seen, and its stance overall is not correct either. It should be more like this. It shouldn't really be balancing on its tail. And the tail also is incorrect as well, because it's quite big, when the Therizinosaurus tail, I'm pretty sure, was quite small. But I mean, they have the claws right. The feet I think look, actually the feet kinda look accurate, but there's more inaccuracies. I just have to say, if you're looking for a scientifically accurate Therizinosaurus, you're not gonna find it here. You're probably gonna want to go to Collect A or Carnegie, maybe. I don't know if they did a Therizinosaurus, but yeah, pretty much if you're looking for scientific accuracy, you're not gonna find it here. So, as for size comparison here, we have the Schleich Carnotaurus, and yeah, this is not accurate whatsoever, because Carnotaurus would never be this small compared to a Therizinosaurus. I think they would maybe be around the same height. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely know that this size comparison is not accurate. I mean, I guess if you said this was a juvenile Carnotaurus, I mean, I guess you could say baby, but kind of doesn't look like a baby. But I mean, if you say this is a juvenile, I guess it could work a little better. But I don't know, it just, yeah, this is not a good size whatsoever. Next, we have a human figure from the Jurassic Park line. And again, I don't know if I don't know if Therizinosaurus was this tall compared to a human. I do not think so. I'm pretty sure this sizing is inaccurate as well. So if you want to have this Schleich Therizinosaurus next to a human, you're going to want a bigger human than Jurassic Park 3 figures. And since Kong Skull Island's almost here, let's compare him to Kong. And yeah, if this is the 2005 King Kong, so if this King Kong is, yeah, I think he's like 25 feet in the movie. Yeah, this is like a 30-foot Therizinosaurus, which is terrifying. Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess since it is Skull Island and everything's bigger, I don't know. I guess if you wanted to have this as a matchup, you could, to give Kong a challenge. If you're gonna have this in a movie or something, I guess you could do that. But I mean, with those claws that the Therizinosaurus has, I don't know if Kong will be able to beat it. But in case you were wondering, there you have it. So as for final thoughts on this figure, I would have to say this isn't a bad Therizinosaurus figure, actually. It's actually a pretty nice one. I like the detail, I like the paint job. The sizing could be better, but I mean, I just think it's due to how big the figure is, really. Like, I mean, even compared to the T-Rex here, you can see that it's a little too big. But I think the main area where this figure flaws in a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot, like the Schleich Raptor I reviewed last time, it falls quite heavily in scientific accuracy. This figure does not look accurate at all. It really does not. There is a few things here and there that are like, oh yeah, that's accurate, but most of the stuff is not, like the head, the neck, the proportions, I think, the feet, the tail. Those are not accurate, and that's what really brings this figure down. And when I mean down, I say down. So, I mean, if you don't really care about scientific accuracy and you just want to get a Therizinosaurus, by all means, I would recommend this. But time for my rating. And I would rate this Therizinosaurus figure a 6.5 out of 10. And again, as I stated many times before in this review, the main thing that brings it down to the 6.5 is the scientific inaccuracy. If this figure was a little bit more accurate, I could have bumped it up to a 7, but it's just not accurate enough for me to do that. And I know most people don't care about accuracy on dinosaurs. They're just like, oh, this dinosaur looks cool, I'll pick it up, you know. Like, this T-Rex here should have feathers all over him, but he doesn't. And I know there's the whole feather scales debate and war, whatever, the crap, but I don't really care about that. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.